Hello and welcome to the Cavalier Sports Report. I'm Mark Allen, and today we are taking a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into the making of the Cavalier Sports Report. Today we'll be sitting down with two of our esteemed faculty members here at Johnson County Community College, Mr. Joe Petrie, who's in charge of video production, and Mrs. Molly Baumgartner, who's in charge of broadcast production. Also, we will be talking with Jim Dice, events coordinator of all athletic events that go on here at the college. Welcome, Mr. Petrie.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you are looking for in students that are going to be doing the production portion of the show?
We like to pick people who are very interested in production, obviously. We like to pick students who are thinking along the lines of a career in production, as far as like the crew that we pick. And we also like to get people that, are interested in sports to some degree, because that also helps. But, mainly it's just that we like people that are, have a clear career, in mind in video production, so that they get the most out of it.
When you are teaching your basic video production class, do you see talent in students and then possibly go to them and say, we'd like for you to take the advanced course and become part of this team that puts on the sports report?
Yeah, I see people that there's potential, but they still need to learn the fundamentals. And then you see people that just get it and that they're amazing students. They catch on right away. And a lot of times it's the people that will surprise you that, they show talent, but, they wind up getting better and better as they go along. And then, of course, we encourage them to go into the advanced program so that they can, sort of hone their skills and go up to the next level. And those are the people that we watch grow and actually grow into the industry and get jobs and internships and things like that.
How many people go into the production? How many people are behind the cameras right now putting this whole show on?
We have a team of 5, or actually I believe we have a team of 6 now, because we got an extra person. So we have a team of 6 that actually works behind the scenes on putting the show together. And everybody gets their own sort of assignment for each week. Sometimes they'll shoot like the B-roll footage that'll go along with what you and I would be talking about. Sometimes they'll go and they'll set the studio up like we did today. We kind of like divide the duties, so to speak, and then we take turns editing as well.
Is it just one student that does the editing each week, or is it a team that does that?
No, it's usually just one, because team editing doesn't always work so well. It works better if you just have one person edit it, and so we kind of try and rotate to make sure that everybody gets their shot at it for the experience.
And how long have you been here at Johnson County?
I've been here more than 15 years. I think it's going on 17 years. I don't know. I don't teach math, but I started in '96. So where does that put me?
I'm going to say that puts you right at about 17 years.
There we go.
That's about right.
See, that was just pure luck, because I am terrible at math. But anyway, yeah, no, 17 years. And it's been amazing to see the program grow the way that it has.
Where would you like to see the program grow from where it is now?
Well, I would really like to see us cross into the HD world more. And we're doing that now. We're going to be shooting more things in HD. The board meeting, and of course we're going to be doing the basketball games and things like that. I'd really like to see us broadcasting in HD, which right now we're not doing on cable. So I'd like to see that happen, because we really need to think about crossing into that realm, because that is the future and everything. I'd also like to see more expanded coverage. I'd love for us to have a weekly newscast, a weekly sportscast. We have a weekly sportscast, but I would like to see maybe more production, so to speak, to put on the airwaves, since we do have such a great cable channel to work with.
Mrs. Baumgartner, could you tell us a little bit about your role within the Cavalier Sports Report?
Well, my role is a little bit different from what Mr. Petrie's is, in that I work with Jim Dice to make sure that we have the student athletes, or we have the coaches lined up for the show. I make sure that we have our students that are our production crew that are here on time and ready to go. Any of the logistics, if we're going to be perhaps out of studio and be on location. And then I try and make sure to double check that our talent, so our host, has those questions prepared, that if there are some new stats or some new background information about either the coach or the student, that they have that and that they're ready to go for that actual shoot. The other thing that we do is when the guest arrives, we want it to be a welcoming atmosphere for not so much the coaches, but for the student athletes. this is that first time that they're going to be, under fire, if you will, being asked questions, and just get them at ease and try and get some of their natural personality to kind of come through, and such that they're not really that aware that the cameras are rolling, and so that they're just ready to appear at their best.
That sounds terrific. What other positions besides mine sitting here talking with you today do students take part in amongst the sports programs?
Well, there's a variety of things. We've had our performance students do play-by-play calls, and so what they are saying during the volleyball or the basketball games is being broadcast along with the live video stream. We also have had students that have had the opportunity to be announcers for not only the basketball games but baseball games. And we have students that are working on packages that also get broadcast, so more extended stories, features about different student athletes or about some of the coaches. So pretty much anything that you would see reporters or hosts or anchors doing on ESPN or even on the networks with regard to sports coverage, that's what our students are doing as well.
Now, I understand that you had some students a few semesters back that did a news story about the Livestrong Sporting Park and then were asked to come and work there. Could you tell a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, the interesting thing that we have going on here at Johnson County Community College is our video newsroom isn't isolated to video. So we actually have 3 forms of media going there. We refer to it as the Student News Center, but we have the branch of video production. We also have the students that are the print journalists, so we have the Campus Ledger, and that third group is ECAV Radio. And so what we do is we try and give students the opportunities in video to get off our campus and to go out there and try and get those stories. And so we had a videographer and a reporter that had some interest and background in soccer, and so we worked with Jim Dice to utilize his connections there so that they could get some behind-the-scenes shots and get those press passes. And because the quality of their work, once they had completed their package and it was uploaded on YouTube, the folks at Livestrong saw it, were impressed, and they said, come on over, we want you to work for us through an internship. So we really are always working, not just in video, but in radio as well as print, to get students those opportunities to get, not just cover what's going on campus, but get out into the community and to really understand what it takes to kind of dog after a story and to make those connections so that they move off our campus and get those jobs within the media in the metro area. And some of them have gone to other communities and are employed, but that's what we try and do, is create opportunities to get a story.
Now, how long have you been a faculty member here at Johnson County?
Well, I've been here with broadcast journalism for 4 years.
Okay. Now, and where in that amount of time, in just that short amount of time, where have you seen the program go from in the broadcast journalism portion of it? Has the equipment been upgraded? And I know that the Student News Center is something new as well.
Everything that was the way we did it, the status quo 4 years ago, I would say has turned upside down. And we used to kind of talk about with JCAV Video where we're working to get the news outside the box. And so literally everything we're doing is completely different. You can walk on our campus and see the more than 100 video monitors that we have. And at any given time, you will see what we refer to as Campus Update, which is just a brief minute and 20-second news update about things that are going on campus. And 4 years ago, we didn't have such a thing, and now we have our first semester production and performance students that are doing that, so they're getting that studio experience. And anyone that's on our campus, so we have on any given week more than 30,000 people that are seeing the work of our video production students. We have not only is the video work up on YouTube, but now their work is being broadcast on our cable stations in Johnson County. We have students that are actually being invited to come and cover, visiting dignitaries, and so that's completely different. We have this beautiful studio desk, so we actually have a news desk. This is new, we just started using it this week. And so we have really ample studio experience. We have the HD cameras, so pretty much anything short of having that satellite truck and having a satellite that we can beam our video stream to, but anything short of the satellite truck, we have exactly what's going on in any given newsroom. So it's been very exciting to see what has changed just in that 4 years for student experiences.
And so is that on the board's agenda to get that satellite truck and satellite launched here in the near future?
No, we don't feel that need. But one of the, I guess, what's going to be the newest thing now that we have the news desk, the next step is starting with the February board meetings. Our student production employees are going to continue that aspect of broadcasting board meetings, but starting in February, all of the cameras will be robotic or remote controlled. And so I guess what's most exciting for us about that is it just continues to broaden the skill set and the experiences that our students have, so they can take the skill of, using that joystick robotics for board meetings, and that will put them in line for any of the news stations in the metro area. So just really trying to have here available for students in that learning environment everything that they would need to have to get out and have that career, be it in news or sports broadcasting, or to work for perhaps a Division I, Division II college in their athletics area, or public relations, public information. So we just want our students to be as well-rounded as possible, and we continue to create that learning environment where they will get that opportunity.
And I understand that in the very near future, at a basketball game, production students and video production students and broadcast students will be working hand in hand in a live stream of the basketball game, and then also doing on-court interviews as well with coaches and players. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
This will actually be our third opportunity, so the third year that students, it will be a totally student run. Every aspect of the broadcast will be handled by our students in our video production and video performance class. And so even though the game doesn't start until 5:30, tip off at 5:30, but they will be there for their call at noon. They will set up the cameras. They will make sure our audio is working. They will make sure the streamer box is working, so that the 3 different cable networks that broadcast for Johnson County Community College will be able to run that. We will have the students directing, running the switchers, keying in the scores. And here's an example of excitement. Last year when we did the live broadcast, we noticed that Coach Haith for Mizzou was in the audience scouting for a player, and we were able to arrange an on-the-court interview with him after our men finished their basketball game. So we are, as advisors, Mr. Petrie, Mr. Dice, as well as myself, are always watching for news is happening every moment, and is there something out there, a story that perhaps we could cover that maybe our students don't recognize that something's happening. So we were able to kind of all work together to make sure that our students had that experience. So we're looking forward to it. In fact, last year's live broadcast of the game won us a first place for Kansas Association of Broadcasters competition. So we're hoping for another 2 wins, a win for our women's team, a win for our basketball team, and I guess we want that 3rd win for our production and performance students.
Mr. Dice, welcome to the set of the Cavalier Sports Report. I know that usually you're on the other side of the camera. Today you are on this side.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about what your vision for the sports report was when it started off.
The vision, well, back in 2009, we went to the men's basketball championship, and I took this little camera, and told Carl Heinrich, I'll just get some highlight video, and he said, no, you're not. You're going to get some interviews, and I had no training on this. And so it just kind of expanded, and then we sat in a little conference room, and I interviewed some coaches, and then thank goodness Molly and Joe Petrie took that away from me, and I'm not in your role now, so I'm glad they did that, and it just has grown, and it's so exciting to see how we've grown and the job that we've done, and to give you guys opportunities, you to be a host, and all the guys behind and women behind the cameras and up in the booth, and then we highlight our student athletes, which is really cool, so we can recruit people in and recruit them out. That's what we're here for, is make experiences for students important. Give them opportunities to be successful, to grow. That's what my job is. So I hope that works.
What is your role as event coordinator? What does that entail? What do you do on a daily basis?
I'm at every event.
Okay.
Or run every event, or make sure somebody's there to run every event. But what we want to do is have a great event for our student athletes, for our guests. And what I always tell my staff, I want to have the best event, so when our opponents come here and we defeat them or we beat them bad, and they leave feeling that we gave them the best experience, that JCCC treated them so nice, and we're the best place to be at.
Can you give me an example of a time that you were setting up for an event, or an event was going on, and something out of the ordinary happened, and it was maybe people didn't realize this was going on behind the scenes, but it was just a debacle at some point?
Well, there's always happening, but my whole thing is I tell my staff with the events is that people aren't there to come see us work. The officials no one comes to see an official officiate. They come to see our student athletes participate. So if somebody sees me doing my job, something's really bad going on. We've had a couple incidents that I like to forget, but
can you share one of those with us?
Well, not really. but yeah, we've had events that things that happen, and I'm always behind the scene, and that's where I like being behind the camera over there than on this side, because that's my job. It's always behind the scene. It's about the student athletes and students. It's not about Jim Dice. I've lived my career or my time here. I was a student athlete here, and so it's.
What did you participate in?
I was a track and field. I was a javelin thrower.
Okay.
And I had my time. I had my 15 minutes of fame. It's make everybody else's 15 minutes start.
That's fantastic. What are some of the feedback that you receive from students and coaches about the Cavalier Sports Report? Why do coaches want to be on the Sports Report?
Every time we do a Cavalier Sports Report, just last week when we had Mike Hibbler and Christian on, they turn it, when's that going to be posted? When's that going to be posted? They always want to see themselves. I learned something very important this summer at a NADICA convention of athletic directors. A guy told us that the most important word in anybody's life is themselves, their name, and then their favorite subject is themselves. So that's what we're doing is you get all these student athletes and their parents want to see them. What some of these guys might do may not make ESPN, but they make the Cavalier Sports Report, they make JCAV, they make the Campus Ledger. So that's important. So it's their name's important, and their people talking about them is important to them. And so that's what we're trying to do. So I think that's important for us.
And how long have you been an employee here?
I've been an employee since I was 12. 22 years.
Wow.
I was a student athlete in '86, so I'm giving away my age, but which is nice. But 22 years, and it's been a great day every day.
And so you've been here 22 years, what have you seen that's changed in the athletic department and possibly in production of the games and everything that comes around with it now compared to back then?
Well, with my event staff, I had 4 people working for me in '91, and now we have such a big crew that we're trying to make that experience for everybody special. So we have hosts that host the team and take care of the officials. There was times I come home after the first years, I was so tired. But now we're trying to make that a little bit more special. Everybody has a good time here. The school's grown a lot.
Sure.
I don't know how many buildings. Maybe we had 5 or 6 buildings. Now we have this nice field house, a 200-meter indoor track that we host track meets and basketball games. So, and then we're gonna have this nice turf field this spring for baseball. So things have changed in the athletic department, and it's been really neat to see it grow.
Do you see that Johnson County is really putting forth the effort to make sure that the teams have everything that they need, like a new baseball field or new surface on the track or things like that? Are they making strides to make sure that we have the best facilities possible?
Well, it's a commitment to athletics, and when I was here as a student athlete, the athletes are our best recruiters. You know, if they wear Johnson County on their chest and they go out and they carry themselves in a good manner, and people go, look at those Johnson County Community College athletes. They're great people. You know, but if they run around and be a knucklehead, you know, people see that. So if we have good athletes, good people in athletics, and they carry themselves well, that says a lot of things about Johnson County Community College, and that's what we're looking for.
Mr. Dice, thank you very much for your time today. That's it for this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. Please join us again next week, and also check out more episodes on our YouTube channel, JCCC Athletics.